and it should be. There we go. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Scotty,
Jamar 4.
and we're here for another episode of the Prelude tonight. Okay, y'all already know what it is. We're here to have a good time. We're here to have a good time and good conversation and just informative stuff. So what we're gonna do is we have three special guests today, and I'm about to introduce them all one by one. First off, we have our very own giving you the real tea. That's the first person. Y'all already know who that is. Giving you the real tea.
Yeah.
We have another one by the name of Josiah's World TV.
Hey, hey, hey.
That's the next person. And we also have a YouTuber by the name of Lynn TV. You know, she bigger than all of us, so she had to get the last the last introduction because she like the queen on here right now. So yeah, so tonight's show we're basically talking about us as content creators and mainly three of us, well, four of us here are smaller YouTube creators, content creators rather, and Layla Lynn is like a bigger creator than all of us here. And so we're gonna discuss our struggles as smaller content creators and how we started, why we started, um, how do we end up where we are and where we want to be. And we have Layla here who's been in the game for a while now, and she has 300,000 subscribers. I ain't know we none of us
What?
are anywhere near that right now. So she can give us a little bit of the scoop as far as how she got there. But we're gonna start off the show. So first of all, I'm gonna start off with Lady Lynn because again she
Oh
is
Lord.
this person in here. First of all, I just want to say, from me and Jamar, I just want to say thank you for coming on our platform because we're still trying to, we've been doing this for a long time, but we're now trying to move into podcast territory and stuff like that. So it's like when a larger content creator agrees to come on our platform, it's like a great thing for us, pretty much, and we always are, you know, grateful because honestly, like I just told you backstage before we got on live, I had no idea that you even knew who I was. I didn't know you were following me. One day I was on Instagram and I just looked at my followers because I knew I was following you. But when I looked at my Instagram, I'm like, she following me? I'm like,
hmm
been watching her shit. Huh? I'm like, I'm always surprised when
Like my
people
kids,
even know who I am.
yeah, I've been following you for a while, and my kids, because they babies, and you know how your theme song be like, baby, baby, baby. So my kids sing your theme song.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
cute.
God.
Yep. They be like,
So,
rewind it.
oh my God, the kids. Oh
That's
my
cute.
God. See, that's the thing. See, we be thinking that. Well, I know me and Jamar, rather, we be thinking ain't nobody paying no attention to us. Like ain't nobody thinking about us like that. So it's always crazy when we hear like a person with like a larger platform is actually watching us and paying attention. Like a lot of the times they do watch, but they just don't say a word. They just sit back and watch it and
Mhm.
Yeah,
just
I've been
they don't
guilty
say
of
that.
that. I might have
So
commented on your channel like here and there. I might have commented over the years, but I'm not a big comment person. You know what I
yeah,
Me,
I
mean?
don't
Right.
comment
Same.
me neither.
Same here.
Yeah,
on.
I watch a lot of stuff and don't
I
comment
do
on
too.
yeah.
netta.
You just be looking. Yeah,
I'll tweet
yeah.
Exactly.
though.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, so it's good because like a while ago we had Bounty Blue, Kevin, and
Mhm.
Addictions TV and Ashley Miller on here, and that was like one of our biggest shows that we've had since we've been doing this. So
Yeah, yeah. I saw.
that we got you up here because we're all like smaller content creators and things of that nature. So, and sometimes we really don't know where to go and how to go and what to do. Sometimes we all have our moments and stuff like that. So we're all here to talk about that. And then, being that you are the person with the most quote unquote like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
Subscribers.
yeah, with the most subscribers, you know, you could tell us exactly like how you started and how you got to where you are. So I would say that We can start off with, I guess, Josiah and how he started his platform, and then we can go to Terrence, then Jamar, then me.
Real
What you want to
quick,
say,
before we
Jamar?
start, is the background too loud?
I don't hear nothing.
I don't
Yep.
hear anything.
Neither.
Okay, great. I'm leaving it alone then.
So we can
Okay,
start off with
well,
Josiah.
okay. So I actually started back in 2017. I've been watching you, Scotty, since 2014. So I've been watching you for years. And I was like, you know what? I really love like ratchet reality TV. So maybe what I can do is like do reality TV reviews. So I started in 2017, but I ended up giving up. I was like, you know what? I'm not just gonna go ahead and do this. So actually, it's so funny because back in 2019. Lailah has this blogger academy, right? To like kind of just learn the format of creating YouTube channels or YouTube
Mhm.
videos. So I followed her format and I was like, okay, let me try to like just test this out. So I did a video on the Parkers, like where are they now, the Parkers, and that video went viral. And I was like, oh my God, like everything that she said that's in her academy like really just popped out. So that's how much pretty much how I started.
Well,
I should have
thank you.
tried that academy. I ain't know about that. I should have gotten.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll DM y'all after we get off. I'll DM y'all and get your email addresses and stuff.
Let me know.
Okay. Shit. He ain't no shit. Go ahead, Terrence. You see your turn.
I actually made a YouTube account in 2013, and I never really did anything with it. I really wasn't into YouTube like that. And I want to say back in 2015-ish, I said I'm gonna just give it a try. So I would just be up there acting silly or doing story times, or I was a band head. So it started off doing marching band reviews, and then I graduated to reality TV. And I did that, and my channel blew up in 2019 when I had talked about the petition to get Evelyn fired from basketball. And that blew up really, really quickly. And since there, I went from 800 to 11,000. So I'm grateful.
That's what's up.
Jamar.
Well, my oddly enough, I made my channel, I want to say like in 2011. And my channel originally, oddly enough, I started out uploading episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't know why, but I got about 300 subscribers for about, I think I did that for like maybe a few months to a year. And it was actually Wes, AK Nation TV, another LGBT YouTuber in our circle, who I was watching in college, his reviews on Bad Girls Club. And just the videos himself was so entertaining. So I started watching the show along with his reviews. And so, of course, him and I would talk about it. He was like, you should do it too. He was like, why not? So my first videos of me in front of the camera was me talking about Bad Girls Club, and I tried different techniques about editing and trying to do stuff. But then I felt like the most comfortable was me just really getting in front of it, just saying what it is I need to say, minimal edit, and just give my personality, not trying to do too much. And it worked. So I kind of rode Bad Girls Club for a long time. And that led into Love and Hip Hop the first couple of seasons, which was really, really fun, which is where Scotty and I originally connected. And it just went from there to I just kind of doing whatever it is that I wanted to talk about and just kind of put my own spin on it. And yeah, it just works. And I'm actually sometimes relatively surprised because I see a lot of the larger platforms that are like more, I'd say animated, more, I guess, loud and boisterous, whereas that's just not who I am. I could try to be that and it would be awful. And a lot of people will come and say, like, I actually prefer your approach than some of the other ones because I'm not really into the rah, rah, rah all the time. I just kind of want to talk to like a friend of mine, like I'm just talking about something, you know, kind of chill vibes. So I'm like, okay, so there's a market for me here. So
Yeah.
that's got to where we are now.
Well, me on the other hand, I started doing videos on Facebook. That's how I started. I started doing videos on Facebook in like 2009. and it was just mainly videos about. I don't know. I would just have a topic that I wanted to talk about because I don't know if y'all like on Facebook. We used to have notes on Facebook, and I used to write a note every damn week.
Mm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
why am I writing notes when I could just make a video about it? So I did a video about it, and the people in my hometown was like, "You should go on YouTube." I'm like, "I'm not doing that. Anybody gonna look at me? I'm not doing that." So I kept doing videos on YouTube, not on YouTube, but on Facebook. And then I made my channel actually like 2009, but I didn't do anything with it. Like I didn't upload nothing. I just had a channel. So in 2010, because I was watching Kevin and Mikhail, and I was watching Candy and Skittles, and I was watching Brian B, and I was looking at also like Spoken Reasons, and it was somebody else I was watching. Much
Quadir.
Love,
Mm.
Quadir, and I was looking at all of them, and then I was looking at Much Love from KY as well. So when I saw all of
Yes.
them,
Yes.
and and not to mention, it's besides Much Love, I was looking at Cadillac Kimberly as well because she blew up when she was talking about Eddie Long. And when she was talking about that, I said, "Oh, I know I got to do it. I know I got to get on here now. Like if she could do, I never knew who she was until that whole Eddie Long scandal came out. And when she did that, that really made me get on. So I got on YouTube like in 2010. Like I was pretty much a college dropout. I had flunked out of college and I didn't have shit to do. So I got on YouTube and I started talking about Basketball Wives. It was like the second season when Tammy had that fanny pack and that busted ass wig. And she was, that's when I first started
Mhm.
doing it. And it was just I was just reviewing the show, and then Love and Hip Hop came out, Braxton Family Values came out. I was reviewing all of those shows, and then I didn't really get like a growth spurt on YouTube until like 2013 when Love and Hip Hop Atlanta's second season came out, and that's when I came across Jamar, and that's when I started getting like a little bit of like my subscribers were going up a little bit. So I would say, and Jamar would agree, 2013 and 20 through 2015 was probably like the best time for me on YouTube. That was the time where um I had like a lot of growth coming in. But even towards late 2015, life got in the way. I was working. I had like a death around, like people around me were dying left to right. Like between 2015 and like last year, I had like a death every single year. So it
Mm.
was I really couldn't I really couldn't be really that focused on my channel because it was always like somebody always passing away. Like 2015, my mentor passed away. 2016, I had a friend, I had a cousin, and I had another cousin. All died within a 3 week span. They all died within
Mm.
5 weeks. I went to my friend's funeral, and then the same day of my friend's funeral, after we are walking out of the church, I get a phone call saying that my cousin was shot. And then the next
Jeez.
week, my other cousin died because she was sick. So it was like a death like 3 weeks apart, like a week apart in 2016. Lost somebody 2017, lost somebody 2018, lost somebody 2019. So it was always death around me. So I really didn't have time to focus. And not only did I have death around me, but work was getting in the way. So that was also creating like a disconnect because if you're working so much and you tired, you don't want to do no video. So it's like, I don't want to do no fucking video. I'm tired. This shit can wait. And then the more you
Right.
wait, you don't want to do it now. So it was like, and then I went through another thing in 2019. Not only did I lose somebody else, but I lost a home too. So I had a lot going
Mm.
on in between 2015 and 2019. So it's like now that we're in a new year and with everything that's going on with everything, this year's been
Mhm.
sucky out on the outside. But in other ways, it's been a great thing because in 2019 is where I came across Terrence. We were both doing Basketball Wives reviews, and that's how we connected and got a friendship. And then, of course, I had Jamar and Terrence virtually meet each other. So that also was a good thing as well. And and then Jamar and I came together for trying to do a podcast because we were both stagnant and we had a lot going on. We really didn't know which way to go because, like, when you're like a smaller creator, sometimes you get stuck. It's like you get stuck. You don't know. It gets frustrating when you get stuck. You trying to do everything you can to push forward, but you still feel stuck in a way. And then you got people criticizing you, saying, "Well, you need to do this or you need to do that," not knowing what you got going on in your real life. So
Yeah.
it's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been
Yeah.
accused of not growing or trying to elevate. It's not that I don't want to, but I had a lot going on in my personal life. So when you
Yeah.
have people don't realize that sometimes it can be difficult when you got a lot going on in your personal life and you got to get in front of the camera and entertain somebody.
Yeah.
So you know
Yeah.
that's probably that's where we at. So I don't know if Terrence has ever felt. I guess we could start there. I don't know if Terrence has or Josiah ever felt stuck being a smaller creator? If so, because I've been talking too much. You go ahead.
Well, I still want to introduce myself.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
um, well, I started my YouTube channel in 2013. I think at that time I was just watching videos. Like, I used to have an old YouTube channel doing like hair videos and stuff like that back in like 2007. You know what I mean? I was doing like hair videos. Yeah. But then I cleared that out. I was like, I don't want to be on the internet no more. And then in 2013, I created my channel just to watch. And then when I got pregnant with my daughter in 2014, I was like, well, I started watching like family vlogs, trying to understand, I guess, and just watch like how family works, kind of like motherhood and all that type of stuff. Like, just trying to see it in action. So I started watching vlogs. Then I started creating vlogs, like with just me and my daughter. Once I had her, and then I didn't start doing celebrity news until 2016 because I used to watch I still watch the Real Talk Show, but when Tamar was there, I was like more of a fan. And so when she got fired, I did a video talking about that. And that is the first video that went viral on my channel. And that kind of shaped my channel how it is now as far as doing celebrity news.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how I got started doing what I do now, doing celebrity news on YouTube.
Okay, then. Well, I didn't know you was on here for that long. Like, you was here for 2017, not 2017, 2007. That's a long damn time.
Yeah. And also, you had mentioned Much Love from Kentucky. My first video, the only reason I knew how to make the type of video I make now, like a screen recording, is from watching Much Love from Kentucky. You know how she'll turn her QuickTime on and just record whatever she see on her screen, whatever she got to say about it, she'll just turn on her screen recorder and talk about it. That was like one of my biggest inspirations. Like, okay, I can do this. I can just turn on my screen recorder and I can show people, what I'm looking at and what I have to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to give her a huge shout out.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we all love her. We all love her.
Mm-hmm. Much love.
You know what? It's speaking of much love. With how me and her connected because when Mob Wives first came out, we were reviewing it, and our video got posted on VH1 blogs, and that was crazy. I was like, oh, that was like the first time I got a tad bit of notoriety. So to speak. We both got it together.
Yeah.
And been like that YouTube auntie or something like that. Like she
is. She is. I love her.
Very, very that. And I think any video that she did talking about Wendy Williams was just a treat.
Hilarious.
I still replay that video from like 7 years ago to this day. Just a good cackle.
I still be watching old Scorpion Show videos. Like, I don't know if y'all remember the video they did where they were on the roof and it was a fire. Their neighbor's house caught on fire.
I don't remember that one particularly, but I do remember when they were on the roof with like the beige backdrop.
Yeah.
Paint back there. That's a long time ago. That's a long time ago.
Right. I remember it was on somebody was shooting and they just looked and kept on talking. I'm like,
I remember that video.
There'd be a whole different storyline going on in the background of the video.
Right.
I'm like,
Right. I love that.
you don't hear that? Like, are you serious?
Right.
And it kept going with the show. I just feel like if that was me and Jamar, we would have turned the damn camera out. We were like,
Right.
okay, we gotta go. You know. You hear a gunshot like, and then
I don't live
Oh,
here.
God.
right. I was like, I wonder if that person died then. Like,
You don't care. That ain't his.
Right.
no, but so now that she's she gave us her history and how she got on and all of that stuff, so we could go into like the feeling of being stuck. And I'm gonna start with parents. Have you ever felt like you stuck and you're not really sure as to what you can do to press on? Like, have you ever felt stuck or complacent or just felt like you were being stagnant since you've been doing this?
Several times because I
Okay.
saw myself jumping from different things. Like I would say, okay, marching band is cool, so let me see what I could do with this. And so then I started reviewing Bring It. And I said, okay, that's all right. And so then I went from there to loving hip hop and Empire and if loving you was wrong and stuff like that. And although the videos were good, I still wasn't getting like my views wouldn't match my subscriber count. So I would just be like, I kind of fell off it a little bit, but something just kept telling me, just keep going, just keep doing it. It'll happen. It's not gonna happen overnight. You'll do all right. So I just started adding more shows, and then I started T Talk, and I did T Talk and things of that nature, and I'm glad that I did because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have be where I'm at now. I wouldn't have known none of y'all. You know what I mean? So I'm blessed and I'm grateful for it. But the one thing that I will tell people that's starting off is not gonna happen overnight. So many
Ooh.
people feel like they could just get up here and you're gonna go from 0 to 1,000, and that's not always the case.
Mm-mm. That's a
Yeah.
rarity.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, exactly. It's not always the case, and it's rarely the case. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Man,
Josiah, have you ever felt stuck?
Yeah. So okay. So with this recent YouTube channel that I have, okay. Of course, I did my first video, and it did went viral. But I didn't know. I didn't really know what type of content I should have put out after that. So, man, like I did so many different stuff, such as like interviews or hot topics, and it would get a few views, but then some were less. But sometimes I'm just feeling like, golly, like I'm putting this content out, but it's getting like under maybe like around 100 views or under 100 views. Like, okay, where should I go from now? So I have definitely felt stuck in that matter. And I was just like, okay, but one thing I know that I have to go ahead and work on even more is consistency, being consistent with my YouTube channel. I mean, although I do have a lot of other stuff going on, it's good to be consistent and grow with your fans as well, like just posting at least every other day. So I have a whole game plan for September to post content at least twice a week on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Well,
That's
that's
good.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn, Jamar.
shit, I'm stuck right now, child. Quiet as a cat. Dude, we
Okay.
should try that good old goal of just 5,000, amen. We almost there. We about 35 away, but we'll take it.
All
Um,
right.
but yeah, it's definitely still been consistency, and then something that I've kind of struggled with was I know like a lot of the videos that I could do that would probably get views and subscribers are not videos I want to do
Mm.
or videos I feel fit who I am and what it is that I'm about. So it's kind of like, yeah, I could do it, but I don't want to start something and it be like inauthentic. Um, and I'm even trying to start, well, I still am continuing like my own series of like a type of video that I enjoy making or that I have fun with. Like on my channel, there's these animated horror story videos that I do, which we watch like these scary stories from YouTube, and there's like a face cam of me, and there's all this other scary stuff going on, and I do scream and holler and talk about the dumb things that people do in these stories, and it's fun. And it's easy to make. It's still slowly building, but then every time I try to quit, be like, yeah, okay, this isn't really working. Somebody will always comment, "Where's the next horror story video?" So I'm like, okay, well, I guess we got to keep going. And so I think I've seen the slow build up that they're starting to get more consistent of the higher view count than they were before. So I'm learning that I have to just really focus on content that I enjoy and I like. Because I think a lot of people who are doing YouTube now, who have been doing it since, I want to say like the early 2010s, like 2010 between the first 5 years of the decade when YouTube was fun, or was a lot
Still
more fun
fun.
than it, well, different. Because
Different. It was different.
the landscape now is like, even though you have a lot of people that were doing the same thing, like we would still all watch each other. It wouldn't feel like it was oversaturated. It wasn't a competition. A lot more of a community feel to it. Whereas now, and this is even the fault of necessarily the creators. It's the platform itself which kind of monopolizes a lot of different kinds of content creators and kind of puts everybody else at the back of the algorithm.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder for some of us to sort of climb our way out of that and come, to the forefront of like just the recommendations page. And there's a lot that goes into just like your thumbnail. Does it look a certain way? Does it have these words on it? And it's just all this other politics. It seems like it's not even about the content of the video. It's just like the stuff surrounding the content. Do you have an end screen? Do you have other different tags in there? What tags are you putting in the video? Are they playlisted on your channel? Like there's all this other different stuff. I mean, some of it I know helps, but it just feels different. I feel like this wasn't always requirement back in the day. So I'm just adjusting, but I still like Lynn said, it is still fun. Because if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be here. But it's just different.
It is different. And I feel like the differences we feel as YouTubers are when the algorithm changes. Like the algorithm for YouTube search now in 2020 is different from what it was in like 2013 or 2014. So I think that's the difference you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that is so true. Because but I know that when okay. I just saw what you said in the private chat, Lailah, and I just saw that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my kids upstairs alone. So every now and then I'm gonna have to check on my kids.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do. That's fine. That is a change, like Jamar said, because I know like when we were doing it back in 2013, and it was just I'm not gonna say that it's not fun now, but it was better then to me because it was just like everybody doing their thing. People wasn't afraid to shout each other out, you know what I mean, or just send people to other people's channels and shit like that. Like, because when I came in shouting people out, or I came in, trying to put folks on other people, and then it's like because I felt stuck. I was feeling stuck for a long time. And sometimes I may have that occasional feeling where I do feel stuck. But it's like I feel like now things are a little bit better now. It's a process. I'm not expecting to go to 90,000 subscribers within a week. I know that it's a process because at one point in time I wasn't consistent. Like like I said, because I had a lot of stuff going on in my life. Like between 2015 to 2019, it was a lot. It was, like I said, people in my life dying. It was my mother, something from second degree, third degree, first degree burns in the hand. I had to deal with that. I had to deal with a lot of stuff around that time. So when people say things like, I know for a fact I saw a comment and someone said some shit like, well, Scotty's Mr. Still Standing, my old name. Mr. Still Standing
Right.
ain't going nowhere. Might as well just lay it down. Shit like that kind of
No, they didn't.
stings. Yeah, somebody did say that. Somebody was like,
How
China
many
ain't never going nowhere and all of this. Huh?
how many subscribers do they have? Are they a YouTuber?
No,
Yeah,
they're
it
not
be
a
the blank ones, like no
Wait,
profile picture,
no.
no subscribers, and they're hating on you because you're doing something they don't even have the nerve to do. Like they don't have the nerve to get on camera and show their face, and so they hating on you, trying to make you feel bad because you're doing something that they don't have the nerve to do.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like I don't try to take things personal that people say on our platforms because we are never going to see these people. We don't know how most of these people look, so it don't matter. But it's
Right.
like
Mhm.
sometimes you feel like you're trying your best to grow and do better by your platform, and you got a person that says you need to lay it down. You like the chingy of YouTube. Ain't nobody checking for you. It's bothersome sometimes,
Chingy.
especially yeah, chingy. And you know
Okay.
ain't nobody checking. So I know they trying to think
I'm like,
me.
chingy.
Okay.
Lord have mercy.
So
People
you
crazy.
know, when people say shit like that, it's like, well, I was saying, well, I thought I was doing more stuff. Like I'm putting out more videos now. I'm more consistent. Like at this point, it's like the people get like 2 videos a day now. Or
Right.
me and
And I
Jamar
like what you're doing. The like
Me
how you
too.
got
have your videos separated, yes for the mess, and how you're doing your hot topics, like keeping everything separate and posting it all out. I think you're doing really great with that. In my opinion, I wouldn't even give them people a second thought. You know what I'm saying? Like just no. Like when you see comments like that, you ask yourself a yes or no question. Is this worth my time? Is this worth my energy? Is this worth my thought? And the answer is no, it's not. It's not.
no, it's
They don't
not.
find something else
and
to be. And even the people that are like stupid successful with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, I'm sure Layla, you get it all the time. And it's just
When I
like
look,
you
you know what
can't
I'm
please
saying?
nobody. There's nothing you can do.
When I look, like I look, as a creator, I have to protect my energy. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to read every comment on my video
Mhm.
because that's going to discourage me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people leave negative comments. Right now, I got people on my Instagram with negative comments. And so, I look at the people who have who are like you can tell who has their notifications on for you. Like you could tell who supports you. You know what I mean? So I look at those comments, like the comments in the very beginning, and I look at the comments from my members, the people who really, really support me. Um, but other than that, these random people who just want to be negative, because I have a lot of views from people who are not subscribed to me. Like it's not my subscribers, but just like random people who came across my video. I don't even see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm Ray Charles to it. I don't even see it. I don't have the
Yeah,
time.
it's like now I've gotten to the point to where I don't have time. Like, cause I was so I wouldn't say sensitive, but self conscious in a sense. Cause when people would come for me in the comment section, I come back, and then it's like it got me this thing where people think I have a bad attitude, and I don't have a
Mhm.
bad attitude. It's just
At
that
all.
when you're a content creator, people feel like they can say whatever the hell they want to say to you. They can disrespect you just because they watch your shit, but you can't have no rebuttal. You're not supposed to be human because you're a content creator. Like people used to come to me all the time. I remember someone told me they hope I get raped because I said something about Rashida or something like that, or I look like I
Um,
have AIDS, or my brother is a faggot. All this other stuff. Like it's just
mm,
crazy how people can say things and then you're the one with the bad attitude, but these people coming to you all kinds of ways. So I just
That's
learned
disgusting.
to just yeah,
yeah.
like I've gotten a lot of disgusting shit sent to me before. So it's like at this point I try not to respond no more because now YouTube got it to where your moderators can see your comments even when you're not on, and they can just delete them for you before you even see them. So now it's like I don't even deal with it. It's like sometimes if they catch me on the right day, I still might respond if they catch me on
Mhm.
the right day. But most times I don't even respond now, and that takes me back to now. That brings me to another topic. As far as like the trolls and stuff, because I know Jamar probably don't get them like that, but I know me and Terrence get them.
It's
Child,
very fake.
girl,
Very
these housewife people, Let me tell you something.
Oh
Girl,
my
they
God.
mad at me because I don't see it for Candace. They was mad at me because I ain't see it for Nene. They was mad at me because I ain't see it for Portia. I said, girl, y'all acting like y'all like these women's paying y'all bills. Like,
Mhm.
what's tea? Like, why is
I
y'all
did the
so
same
angry?
Them
thing.
housewives,
Mhm.
man.
They
Them
don't play.
housewives fans ain't no joke.
When I
They
I
don't.
tell
said,
you, I'm like, no, because when I review the Housewives of Atlanta, I get attacked every season by Nene and Portia fans. Every season I get attacked by them.
Mhm.
What I say, I get
Mhm.
attacked by them all the time because I don't like them. So I'm a
right.
little bit more harder on them than the rest. So they attack me all day. Now when it comes down to the Housewives of Potomac, it's the Candace people. And I was on her fucking side this past episode. Now the Monique fans want to be mad. It's like, God damn, one minute you say I'm biased, and then when I show an objective opinion, now I'm still gonna be burnt to the goddamn cross. Like it's like what the fuck can I do? And then this goes back to
Hmm.
please
That's crazy.
everybody. You just
Y'all
not
give me
gonna.
give me give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
You can say
That's how
no.
it be though. But my whole thing, I ain't getting none of that when I went in on Eveline and Rashandia and LaQuisha with her ghetto Compton ass and Kristen. Nobody got mad. Everybody was on my side. Oh, I feel you. Yeah, I don't like them either.
Everybody
But when it
hates
comes to the
them.
housewives, but I say what I gotta say anyhow. Y'all know I don't give a damn. I look,
Right.
you mad, stay mad. I don't say. Cause I tell them all the time, I'm not gonna like them bitches just cause y'all do. I said I'm not mad.
Right.
I said cause one thing I will say about my channel, I don't mind people opinions.
I don't
Just don't
either.
force me to agree with you, and I'm not gonna force you to agree with me. We can
Don't
agree
be
to disagree,
disrespectful.
have a dialogue, and we good.
Exactly. Like they think that it's more so about what they like them having a difference of opinion. I don't really care about that. It's when you want to come on my shit and say, you a hater, you jealous, you
It's not that
first of
serious.
all,
Are you
Are
are
you
you
a
hate
hater
that
or just
strong?
when we talk about the person that you don't like? Are you a hater?
thank thank you.
No.
Thank
Oh, okay.
thank you. Thank you. Because if I was sitting up here dragging Candy Burris all the time, y'all would not have an issue with that. If I was sitting up here dragging Kenya Moore all day, every day, like I used to, it wouldn't be an
But
issue.
you do that before? Have you stopped?
I'm just saying, I don't drag Kenya Moore that much as I used to. So now that I don't drag her that much, I'm a Kenya fan. I don't like that bitch. You know what I mean? But if she right, I'm gonna say she right. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's
Right.
the big deal? It's like that's the thing. It's just like okay, like it just goes back to how you can't please everybody. Like when I go into the celebrity news, I used to try not to talk about. At one point, I didn't even want to talk about Nicki Minaj anymore. I was over it because the barbs are fucking crazy, and I didn't
Man,
have
that's
time
the
for it
worst.
to
Man,
see somebody else that I don't really care for like that. So of course my opinion is not going to be what they want it to be. So I just call things how I see it. I don't see it as a bias. I just call things how I see it. But then they get upset about that. So I said, I'm not talking about Nikki no more. Like I don't give a damn what's going on in her life. I'm not talking about her. But then once we started doing this and I started doing my Mess for the Mess videos, I'm like, if I'm gonna talk about celebrity gossip, why should I stop myself from talking about a celebrity just because her fans don't like it? I'm gonna talk about Nikki. And if I gotta drag her ass one good time, it's gonna happen. Like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
She
Because I
shouldn't have did
had
it.
enough of it. Huh?
She shouldn't have did it. If she didn't do it, I would have had nothing to say.
I'm just saying, like it's fucking crazy to me. And then I think the thing that really made me not want to talk about Nikki on my channel is when her and Cardi B got into that fight. And I was team Cardi B on that whole situation, and everybody was upset. I was. I ain't gonna lie. Not because of the fact I had my reasons, but I'm not saying that I wasn't like trying to say that she was right for trying to fight her at a Met Gala, but I was thinking about it like, well, at least she said that. At least she kept her energy when she saw her. That's how I felt about it. I ain't
Oh
saying
my
it was correct.
Real
god.
quick,
Oh
I
my
would have about that real quick because this is so much fun. I was very surprised. Everybody was like, "Oh, you're ratchet. You're this. You're that." My thing is, Nikki was saying one thing behind the camera, but when it came to that face-to-face situation, Cardi was consistent. She's like, "Look, this is where I come from. We don't do that social media hidden jab shit. We do this. So when I see you, I'm gonna do this." So I was
That's not always.
That is so low vibrational. You know what I'm saying? Like the physical fighting at the Met Gala. Come on now. Come on.
Look at who she is and where she came from. Are we surprised?
I was surprised. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was surprised and disappointed. Like I'm not Team Cardi or Team Nicki. I'm not either one. But what Cardi did, it did surprise me because I did think she was better than that, regardless of where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Everybody comes from somewhere. Sometimes it ain't the best place, but regardless from where you come from, like that doesn't define you as a person. And so I was surprised. I was disappointed. It was not, to me, I was disappointed. And I don't even have the highest opinion of Cardi B, but I was still disappointed.
I'm gonna say this, like I said, I wasn't saying that that was the correct way to be, because I wouldn't be at. This is like me going to a prom in high school, fighting at the prom.
Right.
Like that ain't what I be doing.
Right.
But the only thing that I was saying was she was just like Jamar said, she was consistent. I expected that.
But if you're consistently negative, that's not a plus.
Right.
In my opinion, I'm just saying, I understand what you're saying about being consistent, keeping the same energy. If you don't like somebody, you don't like somebody. But if you're consistently negative, that's not a good thing.
It's not.
The same thing could be said on both sides because Nikki was asking for it.
I feel like Nikki is more behind the scenes sneaky. You know what I'm saying? Like she's never going to with you, but she's going to make sure, these things don't happen for you behind the scenes. You don't get these features. You don't get this and that. She's going to do it behind the scenes rather than, in front of a camera.
And to me, that's the worst kind of thing to me, though, with someone behind the scenes.
I know it.
Yeah, like if I see you comment, that's one thing. But if I'm walking around and you doing shit behind my back, like I did, I don't like that.
You rather it in your face.
I'd rather let's just hash this out.
I know what you're saying.
You doing all this underdog stuff make me look at you like you a weak bitch.
Mm-hmm.
But at the
I'm just
same
not into the violence.
Yeah, I mean,
neither one of them are right.
Right.
Yeah,
if you're gonna do it, then
like, after I ain't gonna lie though, after that situation, I'm like, okay, maybe I was a bit sounded like a bit like hood, maybe she shouldn't have did that. I did say that after the fact. I'm like, okay, well maybe
you whispered it.
It was an entirely childish situation, no matter what. Like that.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Playground ass. That these two grown ass.
If we're at if the five of us is at some YouTube event, I'm not gonna be fighting nobody. Especially if I don't like
all the cameras and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
They should have fought outside.
You better not. Because I don't feel like windmilling in the streets because you want to fight somebody, okay? I ain't come there for all that.
I got on my gown and stuff. I got on my makeup. Right. No. Right. It's not the place. It's not the place. It's not the time.
So after it's all over with, I'm like, maybe it's kind of like, okay, like Cardi B, like girl, stops. You know what I mean? even with K Michelle, like everybody knows I'm a super K Michelle stan, whatever. Yeah. But even now, I've gotten to the point with her, like, girl, like.
K Michelle been
open your mouth all the time.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why don't you just shut the hell up? Like, it's just kind of like people don't even look at you as a singer anymore. They look at you as a professional shit starter. They don't even think about you being
right. She's taking a step backwards from being like she's a singer, but she's also been a reality star. And so she's taken a step backwards from being a singer back to that reality star. Always got something to say. Yeah.
It's better now, but there was for those first like 2 records or 2 cycles that she was promoting, which was still some of her best stuff, when she should have been promoting and been focused on the music. She was all about the best. Then she stopped being about the best when the music got worse.
If I was her, I would still promote my old stuff. Like she had some good music. I would still be posting that old stuff on my Instagram.
Her sophomore album was one of her best. If not her very best, her sophomore album was.
That helped me get through a lot of stuff.
Me too.
A lot of stuff.
Me too.
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
And you grab your drink.
And I mean, because at the end of it all, like, and I'm coming from a person that's a big fan of hers, it's kind of like you were doing, like, I discussed this with somebody too, and I don't know if y'all agree with me or not, but hopefully y'all give y'all viewpoints on this. But it's like after, I would say, like, she had like a good run at the beginning, like people were like looking at her beyond the whole love and hip hop thing at one point in time. Like she was recognized, like she did win a Soul Train Award and shit like that. She was, you know, getting good sales. But then she came out with more issues in Vogue and went on the Breakfast Club and cussed out Angela Yee. And I think from that moment on, it was.
You know what?
Yeah, those things matter.
And then her coming back to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood was not a good move, I feel like, as well. I don't think that was good for her.
When she did New York, it was fine. But Hollywood, you being messy with the Safari situation and fighting Lyrica in the studio.
It was funny though. Did she have an IV bag?
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
I'm like, why?
Let me ask you this. Have any of y'all ever talked about like Beyonce and the Beehive on y'all channel? Because I knew even a lot of bigger YouTubers, they stay away from them. Because they don't want their channel shut down. They ain't got no time. Have y'all discussed her talking about it?
Back in the day, before I had my channel I have now, when I had my old channel, I had done a video about Beyonce. It really didn't get seen because it was shut down. At the time, I guess she was with Sony. Because I remember I was getting all these Sony like copyright claims after copyright claims after copyright claims. It's almost like, for me, in my experience with my old channel talking about Beyonce, it wasn't even a Beehive. It was like her team is so on it. You know what I mean? Like anything you say negative about her, like they're gonna, you know, flag you. And so now, okay, I'm not necessarily a Beyonce fan, but I am mindful of what I put on my channel about Beyonce. Not just because of the stands. Like I don't care about the comments, just because of like Sony. You know what I'm saying? Like her real team. I am careful of that. Yeah.
I don't talk about her. I just stay away.
I mean, I don't talk about it just because I feel like a lot of stuff that is there to talk about has been said and done repeated times. And it's just like that whole, like, that argument died or was it was at its peak, like in the early like 2010s, when the stand culture was at its peak, especially on platforms like Twitter.
Yeah.
Dragging memes, the gifts back and forth between Rihanna and when they was canceling and throwing Beyonce CDs at her.
Terry Hilton.
And even not even dealing with Beyonce, like when Sierra and Rihanna got into it, talking about booking and stuff.
I remember that.
Social media used to be a mess. It used to be.
It was. It's a mess. It's a mess now, but it's not that bad though.
It's not as bad now because people weren't reporting it. It wasn't like the first place to go for like public statements. Now people put these pieces on Instagram whenever anytime anything happens. It's like Twitter was kind of like a low key source. People were still relying on like TV interviews, magazine articles, and things like that. Social media was just starting to get like as a reliable source for credibility. So now you control your own narrative. Like songs this morning.
And that's funny that you said that because, like, especially speaking of now, you know, all these celebrities, Hollywood has pretty much shut down since the pandemic. So I feel like that most of these celebrities are looking to even us YouTubers for their news source and also doing commentary podcasts. Like I was reading something about Sierra doing a podcast. I was like, Sierra is cool, but she does not have a personality to me like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I can't really see her doing a podcast. Like,
oh my God.
no shade, no tea, no shade, but
All to y'all shade.
Listen, I'm with you. See, look, Sierra got the personality of a dial tone to me too, so I definitely get it. I
but
don't
I love
think.
her music.
Maybe if you have that much money, you don't need a personality.
True.
Is it her that has the money or her husband?
He don't have no personality either.
But does he have the money?
Russell, he better. Don't he still play in the league?
I ain't messing with you, Jamar.
Why not have the
Oh my God.
They run around
I
here
cannot.
having all these
What's
babies.
mine
They
is
better have
yours,
fun.
and what's yours is mine.
Not with that
Right.
prenup.
Oh my God.
Do they have a prenup? Do they have a prenup? Have they ever said that?
I don't think they ever said it.
We'll never
Because they
know.
might not.
I don't think they
I
have
doubt
one
it.
though.
But
They
what
might not.
I will give Sierra is like she has like a lot of her peers be looking at her relationship goals. So I mean she needed to get that. If she ain't got nothing else, she'd have got her a man to give a damn about her other than the rest of these.
Hey.
Ooh.
Listen. I listen. I can't. That's all I can say.
I don't
But,
see
you
nothing
know,
wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with the lifestyle she lived. Just be
I don't
honest.
either.
We can't
me
relate.
either though. Yeah, I just don't relate to it. But it's cool. It's cool in my opinion though. Like shit, I think to be honest, like I'm not saying that they're my couple goals or anything like that because I don't have couple goals. But I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of people will want the type of relationship that she has. To be honest, that just based on the way they portray it on in the public. But
Yeah.
Right.
do them. Just her coming from the relationships that she's had in the past, it's
Woof.
natural to be happy for her when you're dating Bow
Mhm.
Wows and Futures and shit like that.
50
So,
Right.
and
That's true.
her track record is
so
garbage. Thank God for Russell, child.
Yeah, because she
So-
did have the same type of exes. Like even she even dated 50 Cent back in the day. So
Oh yeah, she showed did. I forgot all about
so
that.
Future, Bow Wow, 50 Cent.
But that
I
song
forget all about it.
that she had with Bow Wow was 10 times better than the one she had with 50 Cent. Because I still play that.
What was the song with 50 Cent? I can't remember.
Can't leave
can't leave him alone.
Can't leave me alone. That's it.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't even like that song. I guess because I'm not a 50 fan, that song just never did it for me.
Yeah.
It didn't even have nothing to do with 50 Cent. I just remember her part. It still didn't do it for me.
I like the song. I thought it was cute.
But
I think me and Desire are the only one that like the fucking song.
That was such a puppy love mid 2000s.
I like the hook.
2000s.
Yeah,
It was always
the
a challenge.
hook.
Like, can you say the entire hook in one breath?
No.
That used to be the game. That used to be the game back in the day.
I cannot. I cannot for real.
So
But,
let me ask y'all
I-
this: Have any of y'all seen the change in y'all channels since this new COPPA Act that happened in January? Like, have anybody's channels been affected by it? Because I know mine has.
It
What
had.
you mean?
Like with
Because I've noticed before they started changing the YouTube laws in January and all that stuff, when I would do my videos, I would get the views. My videos would get 20,000 views, 30, 40, 50,000 views. And then once January came, I was lucky to get about 1,000, if not 2. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And then I had people say, well, I'm not getting the notifications. And I say, well, did you hit the bell? They say, yeah, I hit the bell. I'm still not getting the notifications. So I was like, YouTube, like what y'all got going on?
Yes,
In your
Mhm.
settings, pardon me, I just want to ask real quick. In your settings, did you choose like your default setting? This is not for kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
because I felt like if I didn't, I probably would have gotten to like some type of hot water because my channel is not for
Yeah, it's
kids.
really not for
It's stuff
kids.
we just
Yeah.
talked about, right? And I don't want to cause no issues, so I said, all right, I ain't gonna lie about it. But
Yeah,
then it'd be like, well, maybe I probably should have took my chances because I'm sure not getting the views that I used to get.
no,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think.
I think I know. Go ahead.
In my opinion, I would just ride it out. Like I think you did the right thing. I did the same thing too, because it's really not. Like I don't want to say yes, it could be for kids, and then kids watch it. It's not for kids. And so, in my opinion, like I said, the algorithm changes. Like every few years, the algorithm changes. So if you enjoy YouTube, I would just recommend riding it out. You know what I'm saying? Like just ride it out.
Yeah,
Until it comes
because I
back
think
around
I
in
think I know
effect.
what he.
Yeah, because it's gonna change again.
Yeah, because I think I know what he means too. Because I know like before 2019 ended, I my channel was growing a lot due to the basketball wives and the news surrounding it and the controversy. So I did have a lot of views at that time, but then it's kind of like it dwindled down as the months went by. And I know that
Right,
now it's like if I'm lucky to get at least 2,000 views on each video. Like it's
right,
crazy because it's like even like it's like you can tell when you're about to get a big video because like if you put out a video and in like maybe 10 minutes I get maybe 100 or 200 views, I know it's gonna be a big I say okay, so this is gonna be a good one for me. But it
hmm
ultimately it just stops right at 2,000 views and I'm like
right,
okay, what happened? I get my hopes up thinking okay, oh shit, this shit finna go somewhere, I might go viral this time, and it stops right there at 2K, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, and then you know what? And another thing, Terrence, I didn't touch on this when you said it the first time. I'm gonna touch on it. At this point, I just learned not to even think about how the subscriber count doesn't match the views because it doesn't matter at this point. Sometimes I tell people that, like people that I know personally that want to start YouTube channels, I say the subscriber count really don't matter. It's really the views that matter because you can have
Mhm.
like 20K subscribers and only 3,000 people watch your videos.
right.
Sometimes people may have 3,000 subscribers and 10,000 people watch their videos. The subscriber count don't even matter. I just learned not to worry about it at this point. Like,
Because a
Yeah.
lot of people will subscribe and they don't watch YouTube consistently. Like they just
right.
watch every now and then if they have the computer on, but they're not looking to watch content consistently on YouTube. So it's kind of like your subscriber, like your views reflect how many of the people are subscribed to you that actually watch your videos on a consistent basis, and people
Mhm.
who just might find you via the search engine.
Or
Right.
even it could be a situation where they could have been subscribed for a long time and they're just not active anymore and they don't watch. So they're still subscribed, but they just don't watch anymore. Like they may not even be on
That's
YouTube no
true.
more. So that could also
Right.
be another thing. So it's like when people say the subscribers don't match the views, I mean, most people's subscribers really don't match the views because subscriber
Especially
count doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
That's what I
not. It
think.
doesn't matter as much as people think it matters. My goal as a YouTuber is always to. I actually, it might sound weird, but my goal, I tailor my videos to the Google search engine. Like I want to show up on Google. Like if someone Googles, let's say it's something going on with Nicki Minaj, and they Google Nicki Minaj, that's where I want my video to show up on Google. So I don't
Right.
necessarily tailor my videos to my subscribers. Like I'm always tailoring my videos to getting new subscribers to showing up on Google, which has no relation
Mm,
to my subscriber count. You know what I mean? Or I should say a small relation. It's not a large relation to my subscriber count.
Mhm.
that's that's okay. I never thought about that.
That's
what's
the
this?
goal.
Yeah, I never thought about that either.
Goal. That is the
You know,
goal.
I never thought about that because it's like, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes you do kind of get discouraged when you watch other people and how they're moving, and you're not moving the same exact way. And it's
Yeah.
not jealousy or anything. It's just that what are they doing that I'm not doing? Because I just feel like I'm giving my all to this shit, and I'm really trying hard to make it work. But it's like, what the hell are they doing? What the fuck am
And
I
sometimes
lacking?
it's nothing. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's not that if you look at their video and you look at your video, sometimes it's not that, they have a better quality, like they're, whatever. Sometimes it's nothing that they're doing that's better, quote unquote, better than what you're doing. Sometimes it's just, the algorithm. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like their video might have got picked up in the algorithm and yours didn't.
Oh
Hear that.
Lord, that's so difficult. That is so
And
hard. Because
and
I'll be like, damn.
that's why I try to, like, when people ask, what advice do you give about, starting a YouTube channel? I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like, baby, let me tell you something. The hardest thing, like I think Josiah said before, is consistency. And there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to sit in front of the camera, you're going to get dolled up, you're going to you're going to make great content, you're going to spend hours editing, and it is going to get viewed by 20 people.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
And it's just like, you have to get to the point where you're happy with it and you're not doing it for the attention.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you're doing it solely for the attention and not because you enjoy it, and you get those numbers when you're trying to start, you're not going to continue. You're going to get that's when you're going to get really discouraged, because you're not getting any of the feedback or, the joy that comes from it that you would enjoy. So
And that's why
that's what's like, put out content that you like, regardless,
Right.
because then if it does blow up, it's going to be fun. It's not going to be a chore.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's true. Cause I know for a fact that for me now, it's better to me now that with me doing it, it's better now that I'm settled, and now I have a consistent thing. Because I think the best thing I could have done was start the whole Yes for the Mess series. I think that was probably the best thing I could have
Yes. I was
done
happy when I saw
because
you started that. I
Yeah,
was
me
like,
too.
come
yeah,
through. Come through.
Right.
what's really funny about that name is um I have like these two friends that or whatever, these two girlfriends and whatnot, and we um if we're from a small town, so people put all their business out on Facebook, and it's just like I'm a blogger, so I'm used to screenshotting shit or whatever. And when things go on social media, we screenshot the shit and put it in the group message. That's just what we do.
Mhm.
So they named the group Yes. I don't know if you can see it or not. They named the group Yes for the Mess. So I said maybe I should name my gossip column that. That would be cool if I named it that. And I took it and ran with it. And I told them, and they thought it was so funny. But that's where it
Mhm.
came from. So I said I think that's the best thing that could have happened was when I did that, because I wasn't really consistently talking about celebrity gossip like that at one point. I wasn't consistently doing it. It was just mainly reality reviews. So it was kind of like once I got on that, and plus with COVID being where it is, and then we don't have no reality TV shows to talk about, I'm like, I'm gonna have to do something else. So
Right.
once I started doing that, I'm like, okay. And when we did our show, when me and Jamar did our show with the Scorpion Show and the rest of them, when Bounty Blue said, "I love your Yes for the Miss segments. That's probably the best thing you could have did." And I'm like, so
Yeah.
I am doing something
Yes.
good
You
in
are,
Yes.
that
Come
Scotty.
on,
You
then.
are.
Blondie.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
so I'm like, okay, she was like, I enjoy it, because she recorded herself watching it one time on Instagram. I'm like, oh my God. Even though I know she watched my shit, but I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, okay. So I tend to do it because, I wasn't even looking at blogs and shit like that. But now I have to be on it. I follow damn near every blog
Me
site,
Yes.
too. And
every
you be on
blog
it.
thing on Instagram. I follow every single one, and I
Yes.
try to make as many videos as possible. So it's like, okay, I'm trying, and they get good. They do get good numbers sometimes. I mean, they do. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's something I should have been doing, like more of those instead of, because reality
Mhm.
TV sucks right now. So
It
it's like, it gets draining to discuss it at some point. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And then they started, people were telling me maybe because you're like a music connoisseur, maybe you should
Mhm.
do something with music reviews as well. And I kind of started with that. I think the first one I did recently was when I talked about Brandy's Baby Mama song, and then
B7.
the second one I did was when I reviewed the B7 album, and then the last one I did was when Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion came out with Wow. So I'm like, okay, maybe because I didn't know if I should do that because I don't listen to much of today's music like that. So maybe if I
Mhm.
do that, I'll be forced to listen to it, and I
Girl,
Mm.
might
give it to the hot
shit.
girl so we can talk about it.
Yeah, I might shit on it because I don't like most of the shit that's out right now. Like I mainly listen to the old people station. Like I listen to like the urban AC station all the time. If I want to listen to the radio, like I listen to the urban stations like that. So it's like, or they said, well, you don't really have to talk about new music all the time. You can go back and talk about old albums and do like retro reviews on those and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm still
Because I
trying to get
do
into
that.
that.
And
Well, I know with me, it's completely different because I don't have to go on blog sites. Girl, them T subs be flooding me. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
You need to talk about this. You need to do a laugh about, and I get so many, and I just be like, oh my god, look, I work, I'm tired, my feet hurt, I don't feel like getting on camera right now. I do it later.
Right.
had a unique situation for like the past like couple of years is because even though my channel is small, it looks like that I don't really like upload or do any content creation, but I've done like a lot of content for like me and my other co-hosts. We did drag race reviews on his channel for a long time. And then, now me and Scotty are doing our thing on his channel. We do the Yes God panel. So I'm still, for myself, know that I'm putting a lot of content out. It's just not on my own platform. So people who are just looking at my platform are probably looking like, damn, he ain't really doing too much. But I know in real life, bitch, I'm
You
doing about 20
working.
videos a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
working.
Listen, because we were just talking about that. Like, for example, because I said this to Terrence, I know that last year, and we tell this story all the time. Last year, when I was dealing with the stuff I was dealing with, because I was living out of the hotel for 3 months. I didn't even have a place to
Mm.
live at one point, so I was living out of a hotel for 3 months. And during that time, Jamar and I was talking on the phone. I think we talked on the phone, like we would talk on the phone, but during that time, we talked on the phone all the time. I don't even like talking on the phone like that, but we talked on the phone a lot. And while I was dealing with that, Jamar was like, you know what, bitch, we need to go back and try to really do a podcast like we've been doing, like we've been talking about for years. We would talk about it for years and just would never do it because we would feel like ain't nobody gonna be interested in that. Nobody gonna want to hear nothing we talking about, whatever. Like because we small YouTubers, so it's like we feel like ain't nobody really gonna be interested in it. But we said, you know what? I agreed with him when he said we should do it, and I said, you know what? When I get out of here, out of this room, and I can really focus, we can start on what we're doing. And once I did that, once I got settled in late February, we was talking, and even when I was in the hotel, like Jamar was, we even got like art designs and shit for our podcast or whatnot. And COVID had happened, and we didn't know what was gonna happen. We didn't know if we would have jobs and shit like that. So I
Yeah.
told him, I said, so what we could do for now is a live stream and see how it works first. And if we get a decent response, we can keep doing it. So when I got my webcam and all of that stuff, we got on StreamYard. We did our first live show, and they liked it. So I came up with the whole Prelude name because this is exactly what it is. It's a prelude to what our podcast is going to be. So we're basically just showing it, we're using this as a platform to basically introduce our podcast pretty much. So that's why we're doing it. And while we were doing that, Terrence and I had gotten reached out to by the web series G Status. We got reached out to them early in the year, and they wanted us to do work with their show, like do reviews, and they'll promote us in turn and stuff like that. Like they were DMing us about it, and they asked me, "What do I want them to do for them? What do I want them to do for me?" And I said, "I do want you to promote me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I want the promotion, but." I would really love it if you take a chance on Jamar, my friend Jamar. And so they were like, "Well, what's his YouTube channel?" I told him that his YouTube channel is Jamar 84. I want you to check him out because, you know. Then I went and I talked to Jamar about it. And I said, "Jamar, there's this show. I think that when you come back and do your shit, I think you should watch this show." So I made Jamar watch the entire first season, all that ratchet mess the first season. He
Woo!
watched
I know
all
it
of
was
it
a
and got
show.
himself caught up. He got himself caught up and he was ready for the second season. So once the second season finally came out, Jamar started reviewing the show and he got, you know, they were watching it. Like people were looking at it. And not only that, me and Terrence are part of a panel called the Just Us League, and I introduced them to Jamar. And even
Mhm.
before I actually put Jamar onto them, I was you know, at the same time I was like I was always talking to them about Jamar, and I was always saying, one, just one. I'm sorry, y'all. I was always telling Terrence and the rest of them about Jamar. I'm like, I have this friend Jamar. He's about to start back. You know, he's about to do like a research on his channel, and I would really love for you guys to include him on certain things. So they started including him on like the interviews we would do with the cast members on the shows, and then they started allowing him to be a part of like the Yes God like panel or whatever. And so just I just wanted them to give him a shot so he could have some visibility. So it was really I just wanted my friend to win pretty much. So whatever I could do to put him in front of people, I was gonna do that. So that's
That's what's
how
up.
all of that came. Yeah, so you know, I told him, I said, "Look, Jamar, now I introduced you to these people. They're gonna include you on certain things." Like when they started, then they, you know, they was watching our show and they was like, "Okay." And then I told them, "Well, can you let Jamar be a part of this?" "Yeah, we'll let him be a part of it." Or ask Jamar if he want to be a part of this Yes God panel where we discuss this stuff, or you know, issues with, you know, black gay men and things of that nature. And Jamar was agreeing to it and he did it. So it was more so about him getting the visibility so people can see him so they can subscribe to his channel. That's
Mhm.
I wasn't really focused on me like that. I just wanted people to see him. So,
You know
Right.
what
you
you
know.
should do when you mention that? That makes me think y'all should try to get a part of the storyline, like not just the real life social media for the show, but like have something that y'all say on y'all show be a part of the storyline, you know, for their show.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like get integrated all the way, all the way.
Right. I never thought
I
about
mean, that
that.
might be what we're in the works of sort of doing, just by
Okay.
building relationships with members of the cast. Um, and I'm hopefully, you know, depending on what the world looking like in a few months,
Yeah.
they want to be
Woo!
able to bring
2020
us
ratchet.
to the reunion, however, which way that's going to work.
Hmm.
Uh,
Right. If
and
they
the
do
producers have
one.
said that they want the Justice League to be there as like media, and not because they don't want because I was talking to, I want to say this was our guy that said this in the, you know, on Instagram. He was like, we
Mhm.
don't want just like regular fans or just watchers of the show to be physically there at the reunion, but we want people who are, you know, supporters of just the platform itself to be there, who we know are supportive of us and won't try to fight us just because, you know.
Right.
So I want to say that that's in the works.
Okay.
I'd like to believe so. I think that's what that means.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I would say that this year has been like probably the best one because I've never gotten reached out to this much to do things for people. Like I got reached out to for product placement for the first time, and then I got reached
This
out
guy.
to by like all these up and coming web series they all reach out to me wanting me to review their show. So I'm like,
Okay.
okay, it's a start. I think it's a start and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna sit up here and just make it sound like, we're still stagnant, we're still stuck. We're not. I think it's a slow process, really. Sometimes, slow processes probably wins the race. I think it's probably best to be in a slow process because that's
Mhm.
how it's starting. Like things are starting piece by piece. But I think me, Jamar, and giving you the real tea. I don't know what Josiah is doing right now, but I want to see you do more too. If
Okay.
we're
Yes.
talking about it, so that's why I asked you to come on here. To be honest, because I may not say shit all the time, but I do see you and I do see your work. So when I had this idea and I brought it to Jamar, whenever we, talk about the next show we're gonna do, we always discuss, guests or whatever. And I had this idea, and I'm like, get a group of small YouTubers that didn't have a person that's like a big YouTuber on here, and basically school us or tell us things that she knows or whatever. And I felt like
Mhm.
you are I do like your channel and your personality, so I felt like you should come along and be seen. I just wanted you to be seen because I don't feel like enough people see you. So that's why I asked you to come on because I wanted you to be seen.
Oh, I really appreciate that. And sometimes it gets really rough because it's just like with this whole with YouTube and everything, and even just like with 2020 itself has just been a lot. And I know for myself that I have not been being consistent posting on my YouTube and even like my social media pages because I'm always so worried about what people are going to think of me, or I'm not the best when it comes to pronunciation, right? So I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna like drag me and stuff like that. So it's something that I'm still like, working on. But now I have came to that, had that come to Jesus moment within like the last 30 days. I'm like, Josiah, bro, like you are Josiah, like you
Okay.
got this. You do interviews and everything, like you got it. So yeah, I really appreciate that.
Hmm.
I know sometimes I think sometimes we focus on other people and see what they're doing, and then we question ourselves. Because I know
Yeah.
I've done it a lot. Like I'm like, you know, you think about the other channels and how they're getting their views and shit like that, and then you like, well, what am I like? What exactly am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing what they're doing, but things take
Oh,
time.
right. And one thing I do want to make a huge shout out to Lailah. I know I told you this in the DMs, but I just want to say thank you so much because you have really like kind of brought an audience towards me as well. Like when we first
Oh,
collaborated, like just knowing each other over the past year, and just when we first collaborated, even about talking about the housewives, like you brought, like a big audience over towards me. So I'm just so forever grateful, and you're so humble. Like you would think people with your statue, would not really look, would not really even try to put small YouTubers on, but you're just so humble when it comes to that, and I'm just so forever grateful and thankful. I thank you, like genuinely thank you, like for
oh.
doing what you're doing, like for
Well,
real.
don't get me emotional.
I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm not gonna get emotional, but for real, like you are amazing. You are amazing because you could be like, the other like big YouTubers would be like, oh, you're small, it's okay, whatever. But you gave me a shot and you gave me an opportunity. I would never forget
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I was honestly
that.
happy that she even agreed to even do this because I was scared to reach out to her honestly because I'm like, she ain't going to do nothing with me. And then I'm like, well, fuck it, I asked. And when I asked her, she was with it. And I was like,
I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored. Like I said, I've been watching you for years, so I'm honored. And I've been watching. Let me be honest with you guys. The type of channel I have, like doing celebrity news, sometimes I watch people. And so a lot of times I don't always comment because sometimes I've commented and you don't know if the people you watch, if they watch you, if they really like you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of keep my comments to myself. I kind of say to myself, like, I'm not the most social person on YouTube, even though it's social media, like, I'm just not the most social person. And so when I saw you doing like the old school YouTubers, like, when you had Ashley and I
Hmm.
think you had Scorpion.
Listen to
And
Ashley.
I'm like, okay, I would be so honored if he asked me one day. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I was like, I would be so honored if you asked me. You know what I'm saying? And so when you ask me, like, I feel honored that you asked me.
I listen. Listen. It's so many people that Jamar and I be want to bring on the platform, but we never ask sometimes because we like they're not coming on here. They're not doing it. Like they don't even know us.
Yeah.
They're not gonna come on here.
And
And if we even ask them, they're probably not gonna
yeah,
respond.
it's a bad habit, but I think we're trying to, break ourselves out of it because if you don't ask, you never know.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
And
true.
then maybe you're following
Cause
you. I'm just
Right. They might be following you thinking the same thing. Oh, he would never ask me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I
right,
feel.
because for the longest time, I didn't know that the Scorpion Show was following me. For the longest
Mhm.
time, I just so happened to look at my subscriptions one time, and this is when I was extra small. Like I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers yet, and when I saw
Right.
them following me, I'm like, what? What they following me for? My camera quality fucked up. I don't never be dressed up for shit and I get on the camera. Like what the hell they following me for? You know what I'm saying? So it's always a good thing when people recognize you because I didn't even know who Terrence was until Basketball Wives, and I loved his videos when I first saw him, and I didn't want to reach out to Terrence because I thought he was gonna be mean to me watching his shit. I thought he was gonna be mean as hell, so that's why I didn't say that at first. I just shouted him out first, and then I guess people came in his comments saying Mr. Still Standing sent you. Then he came over to my channel and said, "Go off, sis, LOL." And I'm like, "Oh, he commented. Let me go find his social media stuff." And that's just how it happened. So I thought he was gonna be mean. Really, that's why.
Mhm.
Don't give me much, girl, because I can say the same for you. The way you was going off on them bras on Basketball Wives, I said, "Ooh, I don't know, girl. His mouth worse than my child. I don't know." And then when I did send the request, well, I didn't send him a request. I commented, and he was like, "Oh my God, I love your videos." I said, "What? Oh my God, I love you!" Like that's how he was bigger than I was. Because I think he was like around 15, 16, and around that time I had about maybe 5,000 subscribers or whatever. So I really ain't think he knew me like that. He just popped up in my suggestion, and I fell in love
Just
with
like
him.
you popped up in mine. That's how you popped up in mine too. So I'm like, and then let me say, Jamar be like, girl, bye. Because when I say I'm a small YouTuber, Jamar be like, girl, bye. You got 19,000 subscribers. Girl, bye. You're not a small YouTuber. But people consider people like us smaller YouTubers because we are like 19, 20,000. They don't consider that big. Like, you
So
got to at least,
what's the cutoff?
what's the
I
right,
think.
what's the cutoff for being small to big?
Yeah.
Medium?
I think at the most, because sometimes people still consider like Ashley and Brox and Bundy Blue smaller YouTubers, and they have way more subscribers than us. I think Bounty Blue has more than all of us because I think she has like 75K, and people still say she's a small YouTuber. I think the cutoff is 100,000, to be honest.
Yeah, I think when you get
Because
Really?
100, that's when you're like it's like you get like a YouTube plaque.
Yeah.
yeah, something
You get a
like that.
YouTube.
I think that's really where it is because people still be considering them smaller YouTubers and they're well over 50,000 subscribers. Like I remember they were saying someone said, well, Adrian Expressions, he's still a small channel. I'm like, Adrian is not a small channel. He got like 70,000
Yeah, he's not.
subscribers. He's not small. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like that's why when Jamar be like, girl, you are not a small YouTuber. I'm like, yes, I am.
Girl, you in comparison when you sitting over here trying to still reach the 5K, bitch.
I'm just saying.
You about to get like 4 times. It's like, well, you're not really that small.
So I'm like, okay, but it's like when I got the Scorpion and Bunny Blue up here, it wasn't that difficult though because we already knew them. We kind of already had relationships with them, so it wasn't that hard. Like I didn't know. I didn't think Candy would do it because she didn't really know me like that. She
Yeah.
follows me on Instagram and shit like that, but she didn't really know me like that. But I was surprised that she was even willing to do it. So when she did it, and then we got that big ass response that we got, like I had never in my life had 600 people in my chat before until I did that night, and that was like a big thing. Like people were like, it was people that I didn't even know about was looking at me because it was this chick named Jaylee's Corner. I think she reviewed
Oh,
shows and she commented, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Yeah, I
didn't know
love
she
her.
knew me. Yeah, I was like, I didn't know she knew me. And I'm like, oh wow, like all these people commented and was in the chat, like your boy Nunu was in my chat. I never knew he even knew who I was. He came in the chat and I'm just like, it's like a lot of the older YouTubers came in our chats and they were all in there. Like it felt like a family reunion or something.
mhm.
Like that's how it felt. It was like one of the best things we did. And I know that after we got off, Jamar was like, "Bitch, we did that. We were so happy about that." I'm like, we was like, "Bitch, we
Good,
did."
because like we've been able to do like collaborations with them before, but I think because I had at least with Kevin and Candy specifically, over like the course of the years, I had been, in their lives, in their watching their videos. I went to like a lot of their events. Like I went to like Candy's Halloween events for like 3-4 years in a row. Me and Kevin went to like a lot of Pride events, like even like overseas and stuff. So like I had built like a one-on-one relationship with them. So asking them to do that, they were like, sure, because it's a community thing. Like even like with the blackout. And YouTube, a lot of times you're not going to reach this plateau usually just on your own without making any connections or friends or colleagues on the platform that you're on. You have to, you're going to meet people who do the same that you do, and you're going to enjoy them. Y'all going to connect, and that can lead to a larger group of people, kind of like what we have, having going on here. So uh, that's just how this works. That's how social media usually works. So it's all a part of the process. Like you never know. That's why you try to treat everybody with respect. Treat everybody like an equal. So because you never know how things may end up.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
gonna be right back, you guys.
I,
Let me check on my kids real quick.
go ahead.
Okay.
okay, okay, but you're right about that though, because that's what I think too. Because ever since I've been on here, that's all I've ever preached was giving other people a shot or giving people a chance, especially if you watch their shit and you see them or whatever. It's like you have to build relationships in order to get where you need to be. And I felt like I've done that, and that's why people are willing to do things, willing to work with me because I have a good attitude. So it's like when you have a bad attitude or whatever, ain't nobody gonna want to fuck with you. So it's like I can genuinely like I feel like I can honestly say that the people that I have made connects with on YouTube it's because of the fact that I have a great attitude. You know what I mean? Like I don't have this bitch ass I'm better than you type of thing. Like, that's why it's sometimes hard when we want to do shit and we want to reach out to other YouTubers and shit like that, ones that have a bigger platform and we be afraid to because we like these people ain't gonna, they're not gonna come on our platform. They probably gonna think we're using them to gain or something. Like some people do have that mentality. They just want to use me for views or clicks and views or whatever. That's not really what it is. Like, you
I mean,
know,
especially for the perspective and the experience that we feel like
exactly,
we can share to the platform and the discussion. Because I mean, otherwise,
exactly.
we'll just be doing that every week, reaching out to people who.
Exactly. So it's like it's it's for me, like I always that's why I always do the things that I do. Like I always want to make sure that everybody is able to get their shine. Like that's just me. And even if you surpass me, it doesn't matter. I'm like I'm shooting like I'm shouting it out to the rooftop. Like this is what I wanted you to do. Like I wanted you to do your thing. So I'm not ever gonna be a hater. Sometimes
Right.
people can sit up and compare you to other people that started with you and be like, well, such and such surpassed Scotty and blah 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 blah. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Like, it's just not my time yet. When it becomes my time, then I'll be able to do the same shit. And
Right.
it's
Mhm.
people are so focused on like pitting people against each other. That's another thing. And I think that a lot of the times that's why people don't want to work with each other because it's a simple thing. It's a thing where they want to pit you against one another. Even when we did our show with Kevin and Ashley and Bundy and Candy. People were still pitting us against each other, even if I'm only here for Bounty or I'm only here for Ashley or we don't care. Just come in and look at the damn video and then,
Okay.
just look at
Be
us
a
being a unified front. Right. Just look at us being a unified front. Like everything doesn't have to be like a competition all the time. And I think a lot of the time subscribers can cause that rift with other content creators because they want to make it be something that it's not. Because I'm pretty sure that I've known Jamar for about, let's see, since 2013, so that's like 7 years now. I've known Terrence for almost a year. So the more I'm cool with Terrence, it's gonna be a situation where they're gonna be like, they're gonna try to pit us against each other. It's gonna be, oh, I like Terrence more than Scotty, and I like Scotty more. It's gonna be that type of thing where they're gonna pick, and I don't get why they do that. Or not only do they do that when they see two
They're
people that's
bored.
friends with each other. What happened?
They're bored.
Not only that, they're trying to compare you to someone. Like for example, Terrence, when he does his videos, the first thing a person would say to insult him is, "You trying to be like Funky Dineva." How is he trying to be like Funky?
Girl,
They
girl,
said that. What?
girl.
Yes, you trying to
I'd
be
be
like
like, well,
like
I don't know
no.
what else y'all want me to be because this is me. So if you want me to imitate
Yeah,
somebody else because you used to them, I'm sorry, girl. This ain't the channel for you.
Mm-mm.
The
that's
gag.
right. Like we're not trying to be like them.
It'd be the gag when you trying to be like such and such and you don't even know who such and such is.
Right.
It's
Okay.
like, and then when
Girl.
people say that, they try to say that as an insult, but at the same time, it's really not an insult. Funky Dineva is one of the biggest fucking gay YouTubers out there. Why wouldn't we want to be like him? But we're not
Mhm.
trying to be like him. You know, it's just I guess because we're like the leaves on the same damn tree. We all talk about pop culture and shit like that. So when there's a bunch of gay YouTubers coming up, they're gonna always think you're trying to be like them. You know what I mean? You trying to be like fucking that. You know, it's kind of like if all like if a hood girl come out and they be like she trying to be like Mary J. Blige. She ain't trying to be like Mary, but because she's a ghetto girl, you gonna automatically say she wants to be like Mary. You know what I'm saying? So no, it's just crazy.
Or I don't like the YouTube beefs.
I don't either.
It's no shot. It's in it. Look, it's no secret. I don't see it for Tasha K. I don't. Even
Oh
though I
wow.
talk about her, and I do, I always make sure to tell my people. But listen, if y'all love her, subscribe to her, give her likes or clicks or views because I don't want to do that. I don't ever want to make somebody feel like, well, I don't like her, so y'all don't need to like her either. That ain't never been.
Yeah,
I still,
yeah.
I'll talk about her like a dog, but I'll let them know if you love her, continue to subscribe to her, give her clicks or views, let her make her money. I ain't got no issue with that.
Yeah. I don't like that either. Like I don't like how people try to like feel like they gotta choose. Like we're all content creators. We're all doing the same damn
Mhm.
thing. We're just doing it all in a different way. So it's like that shouldn't be an issue. You know what I mean? Like who you want to like, watch who you want to watch. You know what I'm saying? So you should have to feel a need to choose.
That's one
You know
thing
what
I
I
like
mean?
about Layla. She stays out the drama. I never hear like no beef or anything or somebody
Right,
come for your channel. I was like, okay, yes, because I
right.
do see a lot of big YouTube beats. I'm like, for what? Like, what's going
I
on?
don't even see the need to mention names. If you're not saying something positive about somebody, I don't even see the need to mention another YouTuber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I mention Josiah, it's to say something positive, but other than that, I don't see the point.
And some of these YouTubers be making big money off of talking about other YouTubers. And I was like,
Because then it's like, okay, so what do you have to offer?
right. Because I was a tea sipper, right? I love,
you can talk about what other people are doing, but what are you doing?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what in the world?
Like it's just like even if I don't really like even if I don't care for like a YouTuber and what they do, I don't have time to talk about them though. Like what am I talking about for?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like what's the point? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that I've managed to stay out of shit on here because that's not what I'm about. Like I've never wanted to be a part of it. Like I don't have time to be arguing with people on YouTube. Like I don't. Social media, period. I don't have time to be doing it. Like for what?
Yeah.
What are we arguing about? So we're gonna yell at the screen from the comfort of our own home. Like no,
not even to each other, but to a camera to then post, assuming that the other person's gonna watch.
Yeah, like no. So it has its ups and its downs though, but I do love the fact that I can bring different YouTubers together that may not even be familiar with each other, and we can all come together and have a conversation. That's what I like to do. So it's like that's just what it is for me. Like I don't want to, I don't want to do that. Just like people on comments are just people in the comments are now saying saying the same shit. Like they're glad that we can bring I can bring YouTubers together and have amazing content. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. Like there's nothing wrong with coming together, having a conversation, and just doing the damn thing. Like it ain't got to be nothing big. It just be a conversation and stuff like that.
Right.
Like we're having right now. Like we're just really having a conversation about us being smaller YouTubers and the struggles of being a smaller YouTuber. And we got somebody on the platform that's a bigger name than us that's giving us like the advice that we probably needed to hear in the long run. Because that's what I wanted it to be and that's what it is. So like I said, like I can't say it enough. When I was afraid to ask Lailah to come on because I just really thought that she wasn't gonna do it. I just thought I'm like, But I was even more surprised when I saw that you was following me on, like I said before, when you was following me on Instagram. I was surprised because I'm like, how did she? What? She follows me?
You on the internet, so don't be surprised at who's following you because you on the internet.
I know, but it's always surprising when people follow me because I don't be thinking that much of myself. Like, you know what?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
The first time I ever had someone that's like, I guess, famous say something about my videos, it was one night that the Housewives was on. It was probably like their sixth season. He's not necessarily famous, but he's connected to the show. When Don Juan came in my mentions and said,
What do you say?
I love your videos, even though you drag me, I love your videos. You are hilarious. And I was like,
no, because he'd be doing a lot. He was doing the most on the past seasons.
I was
He
like,
was.
oh my God, he watched my video. So that means you and the brother watch them too. Oh my God.
Right.
Then when R&B Divas was out and I was dragging them to death that last season that they had. And Leela James mentioned me on Twitter. She was saying that she loved my work, regardless of whether I dragged her or not. She loved my work. I'm like, I can't believe she watched my shit. I talk about her so bad.
Look,
Like, what?
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I only had one person, I guess you could say was famous, that came under my comments, and that was Diana Williams. And she said, look, She said, I love what you're doing. She said, I think you're completely hilarious. When I did her boss moves now, you know, when her husband chimed in, that became a whole nother story for a whole nother day. We ain't gonna talk about that right now. But, you know, it was once she hit me up, I said, you know what? I love that because that shows, listen, even though I may drag you, it's only for shits and giggles, okay? Once I finish doing my videos, I'm going on about my day. I don't know you from a can of paint. And it was when she hit me up and she was really sweet and she was very respectful. And she said, listen, I get it. This is your job. I totally understand it. I thought it was hilarious. You know, I'm a subscribe. And she did. She had subscribed to my channel and this and that. And I really appreciated that because I really felt like people going to be like, nah, I don't want to deal with you. You drag me. But then when you have people that understand what you do and still find you hilarious, I said, okay.
It's a like that because listen, what's the funny? But the funniest thing that happened with doing reality show reviews was on Love and Hip Hop Miami. Prima Donna was going at Amara La Negra like crazy, and I was dragging the fuck out of Prima Donna. And I don't even like Amara like that, but she was annoying me the way she was coming at her, and I was just dragging the hell out of her. And I woke up, I was at work. And I got this DM, and it was from Amara. I'm like, oh Lord, what's she gonna say to me in my DM? I opened up my DM. She said, "I just gotta love you, thank you." I'm like, nah, she only liked me because I'm dragging my But I was like, well, thank you. You know, you don't never think that. When I saw that blue check in my DM, I'm like, wait a minute, that come for real. Wait, I had to check first. You know, sometimes people will fool you because sometimes they'll fool you now because I saw in my message request on Instagram it says Sierra on there, and I'm like, I know Sierra the singer is not DMing me, and it wasn't. They had like 12 followers, so I knew it wasn't her.
Oh God!
But it was like, you know, that was crazy when I got that DM about Love and Hip Hop Miami, and what we really don't know and don't realize, those people really do watch our shit. They ain't gonna say nothing to us, but they do watch it. They do. Cause I got
it's
that.
funny
I
you
know
mentioned
that from
Prima
talking
Donna
to
because Prima Donna DM'd me on Twitter. Cause I made a comment under my review that I did, and I said something to the effect of, I said something to the effect of Jocelyn is giving Prima Donna the business, but I said Prima Donna ain't no punk ass bitch either. So this is gonna be interesting. And she got a comment, and she said, "You better believe I'm not." I said, "Oh, okay, I know you watch."
They be watching.
And I like Prima Donna. She got on my nerves, but I like Prima Donna.
Yeah, they really be watching, and we don't realize they be watching, but they do. Cause I noticed that from when I talked to Much Love on the phone one time. She said, "You think they're not watching, but they are watching, and a lot of them do not like me." That's what she said to me on the phone. I'm like, for real? She said, "A lot of them don't like me, but they be watching." They do. They watch. I know they do. I know they do. They ain't gonna say nothing, but I know they watch.
Right. So my question is for Lailah, since we've kind of given our entire stories and backgrounds on how we got to the place that we got to now with the platform, what can you share with us to take us to the next level?
Okay.
Especially with me and Jamar, with us having a podcast coming up, especially with me and him.
This is what I would. This is my. It's. Hold on. I'm trying to get my phone off. This is the thing. I would ask yourself, what are your ultimate goals with YouTube? Like, if you're here to make. Hold on. I can't get the volume to go away on my phone. Like, if you're okay. If you are here to. All right. So if you're here to make money on YouTube, and sometimes I make the mistake of assuming that that's everyone's, number one goal, and sometimes it's not. But if you're here to make money on YouTube, I would ask yourself, and I would consider the different ways to make money on YouTube, because there's not just Google AdSense. Like, everyone is talking about YouTube views, but that's not the only way to make money on YouTube. You can have a product. like I see giving you the real tea, like you have your merchandise, you can go hard with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and how Scotty, how you were mentioning how when you feel like a video is about to take off because you see so many views in the first hour or so, you see a certain amount of views. What it sounded like you were describing is that you have a certain base that is really engaged with you. You know what I mean? Like your notification squad is really engaged. So you have the opportunity to take advantage of that, whether it's merchandise or whether it's something else, some other product that you have. Like Google AdSense and views is not the only way to make money on YouTube. So if your goal is to make money on YouTube, I would consider other options like products or services or whatever it is that you do in real life. Like I would consider that as well. You know what I mean? If that's your goal to make money. I don't know, everybody's goal on YouTube, and I don't want to assume everybody's goal on YouTube, because some people's goal might be like you're on YouTube because you want to be on TV. You're creating an audience for a TV show. Like I don't want to assume anybody's goal. But if your goal is to make money, I would look at all of the options to make money on YouTube.
Okay, well, since you brought up the goal thing, I guess we could go down the line, starting with Josiah, about what are our goals for a better understanding.
Yeah, my goal is to definitely be on TV. I have always dreamed, even as a teenager, to have my own talk show. So I feel like that I always wanted to kind of just show more of my personality on camera, and then also just to be a media mogul. Like I always, even though we sometimes drag Oprah in 2020 and 2019 after the whole Michael Jackson thing. But I always looked and see Oprah as an inspiration, and like being that media mogul, knowing everything from in front of the camera and behind the camera. So YouTube is just an instrument to me to kind of just grow my brand as far as Josiah's World TV and kind of show people who I am, even behind the scenes, that I do have a personality and I do love to connect with my audience.
Okay, Terrence.
What is my goal? I can tell you this. I honestly don't want to be on TV. If that happens, that's fine. But for me, I feel like I have a little bit more control of what I want to do, what I want to say, on YouTube. And I can honestly say that I've grown connections with not just like you guys, but subscribers. Like I have a lot of subscribers that DM me and say, you really helped me went through my day. I was having a bad day, and your laugh today picked me up. And I actually had one person who said to her and her mom, she said, "My mama thinks you're hilarious, and she don't even watch you." And she was in the hospital. And so like that's really why I do it. I like to make people laugh, make people think, make people converse. So that's my ultimate goal.
Jamar.
I think that mine is like really a combination of both. Because I've always had like a really good love and adoration for the entertainment industry, television, music, and thought that my personality and what I could bring talent-wise, even as a personality, could be considered valuable. But also at the same time, I know like when I watch somebody, even though they may not be a large creator, there's somebody that I watch constantly, that I'm entertained by, who I, love and respect their work, that I wanted to, and like whenever somebody like that engages with me, like it really like, makes you feel happy. It's like, wow, I feel seen, I feel acknowledged. And I wanted to bring that sort of joy to other people. Because I know what it's like to kind of feel, small, kind of like in the background, like nobody really seeing you like that. And I want to be like somebody who always looks way in the back. That person that's in the back corner with the glasses on, you think nobody looking at you, I see you. Okay. And you want to acknowledge those people, give them that same feeling that I get from people that I love and respect. So it's like a combination of both.
Well, for me, it's a multitude of things because I'm also a writer. So it's kind of like I have like books on my novels on my computer that I've never published in life. They're just sitting on my computer. and I want to get into publishing, and besides just publishing, I want to get into publishing, but I've also wanted to do just like Jamar, like things like with entertainment. Like I, at one point in time, I wanted my own radio show. Like I wanted to be on the radio and have my own morning show, kind of like Ricky Smiley or something like that. Something that's fun where we talk about pop culture and stuff like that. And outside of YouTube, the podcast thing that me and Jamar have been working on for a couple of months is I feel like doing things like this and the podcast and my work and with writing and stuff like that is really where I want to be. So it's because what I do now, as far as like work wise, is not something that I want to do. It's like I do it because it pays my bills, or I do it because it puts clothes on my back, or it feeds me. That's why I do it. So I would rather get paid doing something that I adore doing. Like I would love to get paid because I'm doing YouTube videos full time, or I would love to make money because I put one of my novels that I wrote on Amazon and getting paid off of it. YouTube could be a stepping stone for that as well. Like I look at things in a bigger way. Like I could use YouTube as a platform for that. I could use it for my podcast with Jamar. I could use it for my books. I could use it for anything if I continue at it. So it's like a multitude of things for me. Now, do I want to be in celebrity circles? I do not. I don't want to be friends with any celebrities, period, because I feel like when you become friendly with celebrities, you have to put a filter on your mouth, and I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I can also see myself hosting like the reality shows that I like to watch, like Love and Hip Hop or Basketball Wives. I can see myself hosting that stuff. Like, you know, I've always been told you could probably host a show. Cause I would be looking at them damn cue cards. I'm gonna ask them what I feel like the people want to know. I'm not gonna be asking them scripted ass questions they want to give
Exactly.
everybody. So it's like,
Nina.
like I would, it's that type of, right. Like I want to do hosting. I would love to do hosting. In a nutshell, I would love to do hosting. I wanted to do a radio show at one point, but this podcast with Jamar is pretty much like the substitute for that. And I want
Mhm.
to put my books out there. That's really my end goal with. That's my goal with this. So
Well,
I agree. The same here. Everything what you said. A little bit everybody what everybody said actually.
hmm yeah, it's like at the end of the day, it's like it's great to have a platform like this where you can make money for just being yourself. Pretty much,
Hmm.
like it is like just to get paid for being yourself, you can make money just by cursing these celebrities out and get paid for doing it. Like what? That's why when people comment me under my videos when I say shit, I'm like, but y'all not getting paid to do this. I am. You're not getting
Right.
no YouTube check for this.
Right.
Now the YouTube check may not be a lot right now because I'm still trying to grow my shit, but you're not getting paid to do this. I'm getting paid to talk about them. You're not. So dumb down. But that's how
I
I
think
feel.
I want to, make a living off of being creatives. Because I think we enjoy like putting our art out there in whatever form or fashion it may come in. I think that's what a lot of people really like to create and be able to make a living off of it.
hmm
So I mean I think that could be like the umbrella goal of mine is to be able to make a living off of my creativity.
Yes.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Because
So what you say?
this job ain't it.
Oh no, I was
Mine
saying
ain't
yes,
it
like I
either.
agree.
I swear mine ain't it. And mine is definitely not it at all. It's not. But well, we're almost at we're almost at 2 hours, so I think we can end it here. So any last words? Anything else you want to say, Layla, before we leave? Before we end this?
Uh, I would say this. Don't feel, well, this is my opinion. My last word, these are going to be my opinions, okay?
Okay. Shoot.
Okay.
Don't ever feel small. You know what I mean? Because to other people, you might be big. You know what I mean? So don't ever feel small. And yeah. What else? What else? What else would I say? What else would I say? As far as you,
Yeah, maybe you could give your opinions on us as content creators.
oh
That
Lord,
would be fun.
I'll give my opinion on you because you asked. But
I want one too.
I think they all want them now. They all want to know what you got to say, baby. So go ahead.
oh my God, I feel on the spot, but okay. Um, so Scotty by nature, Mr. Still Standing. I think it's great what you're doing. The yes for the mess is great what you're doing. I think taking each topic and making it a separate video is the best thing you can do as far as monetization.
Mhm.
Like some stuff I'm hesitant to say like on live. Um, but I'll just say what I can say publicly. I think that's the best thing for you to do. What you are doing, separating out your topics.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Jamar 84. If anything, I feel like you have a niche audience, and so I don't know. Basically, I don't know you like that to know what your product would be, but I feel like you would make the most money selling like a niche product, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever is in your heart, like whatever you offer to people.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I think it's in the works.
Okay, it's coming. Okay, so I'm right. Okay. Giving you the real tea, Terrence, I would say go harder like with your tie, your merch, like you're saying. As far as like your merchandise, I feel like you have something there. I would even copyright it, not copyright, trademark. I would even trademark your sayings and do merch, not just under your channel, but like sell the merch, you know, on different platforms.
Okay.
And Josiah, I would say keep doing what you're doing as far as the content you're creating, like the content that is not necessarily hot topics, the content that lasts, you know, for
Okay.
longer, the
Okay.
evergreen content.
Mhm.
I would say keep doing that.
Okay.
Well, all right. I think we all appreciate what you just said. I think we all appreciate that
Absolutely.
right there. I
Right.
would take it all in stride, honestly. Like
Okay, good.
I appreciate that. Before we exit, because I'm before like but when we end this, Layla, we'll talk to you behind the scenes for like a split second. I'm not gonna keep y'all on here all night, so we'll talk for like a few minutes when we end it. But before we end it, and after I say what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let Jamar close it out. I
Okay.
really appreciate everybody, all three of you guys that came on. First of all, Terrence, I appreciate you coming on, even though I know that you would have done it anyway. But I appreciate you coming on for real, for real, for real. And I say it all the time, and I say it again. I really do appreciate you as a friend and as a person, and I am glad to have known you. Josiah, I appreciate you coming on. I know that you have watched me for a long time,
Mhm.
and I just felt like you needed to come on. I feel like you don't get seen enough, and I wanted you to get seen. I know my
And
platform
I
ain't that
appreciate you for
big,
that. Yeah.
but I wanted you to get seen in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Because like if I see something, if I watch somebody's stuff and I like their stuff and I feel like they should be seen more and they should have that opportunity, then I always want to work with them and try to do
Thank you
what I
so much,
can
Scotty, for that.
to
Yeah.
shout them out. That's just how I am. And Layla Lynn, I really appreciate you coming on here. I'm gonna say it. I can't say it no more. I am definitely grateful. I am definitely grateful that you came on our platform and you gave us um the wisdom, the advice, your opinion. I think we all appreciate everything that you brought to the table tonight. We really do. So I am glad that you came on here. I really
Well, thank
appreciate
you. Thank you for having me.
Jamar, what's your last words, Jamar, before we close?
Absolutely. Again, thank each and every person on this panel for hopping in. Scotty's always bringing new people to me for these panels and allows me to meet new great content creators like myself. So I appreciate you guys again for coming on. Appreciate the chat for stopping through, chit chat with us, participating in the conversation. We definitely really appreciate it. We're going to continue to engage in these different conversations with multitudes of different people from multiple backgrounds and experiences. So we thank you guys so much for joining us here. Make sure you follow everybody that's on the panel, everybody's information. If you guys want to post it in the chat, if you guys have access to it, just post it real quick at the end of the chat if you want people to follow you. I feel like everybody's name is on the screen though. If you want to just go to their channels right off bat, I believe that's the case. So make sure you support all of the content creators here on this channel, and we're out of here, y'all.
Thank y'all. Good night.
Yes.
Bye.